Hey guys, here's a random sort of jump in for your day. I just got the email, which is pretty cool, and Jared and I were chatting about this. We just found out that two of our favorite weddings this year are going to be featured in another magazine. We just had a big one come out about a month ago, and two more in Arkansas Bride that came out this last this last edition, and I always, every time that happens, we always end up with photographers and friends, just mentees, asking us how that process works. So I figured I would just record and tell you guys like what that process looks like, how, if that's something that's really important to you, how maybe you could get your work published and see that in print, what that feels like. But then also to just encourage you guys that though it may feel very flattering to see your work be published, it really doesn't move the needle that much in your company. And there's much more important things like your clients' happiness and the authenticity in your work. And honestly, just your pride for the work that you're creating is so much infinitely more important than whether or not an editor takes notice of you. So let me start by saying, if you really do want to get published, it's really important probably for you to figure out where you want to get published. Just making sure that you're approaching magazines that are publishing work that looks like yours. So great tip here is just don't adapt your work for a magazine. Shoot the way you love and shoot the work that you love, and then find editorials or magazines or even Instagram profiles that share work that have a really similar vibe, a similar aesthetic to yours. Secondly, I know that this is going to be a little bit of a hot button, and believe me when I say this isn't like a shots fired thing. But there are a lot of shortcuts to getting published. In fact, all the big magazines, like Vogue, you can always buy an ad. And of course, it feels good to be able to say, our work has been seen in these massive magazines. But the reality is that if it's pay to play, it probably is a shortcut that won't really benefit your business that much. So if you want to become an advertiser in a magazine, that's a fantastic concept, and really weigh the pros and cons there. But probably more than that, understand that by being featured, by being picked up and seen by an editor, that's a massive compliment that you can't just purchase. Maybe finally, I would say that the end goal of being published in a magazine really shouldn't be to justify your art to yourself. If you're waiting for an editor or somebody to tell you that your work is good, you're probably going to be waiting for a long time. There are hundreds of thousands of photographers that are cranking out really great work. And so let's not let the industry or editors tell us our work is good. Let's let our clients tell us our work is good. And let's get out and do work that we're really proud of. And that way, when magazines pick you up, and I know I started this by saying, we're really excited about those situations. But when they happen, we can all high five and say, how cool is it that this process is happening and that people are seeing this work? And more than anything, that our clients and the other vendors that put so much work into these weddings, that they're getting noticed. Hopefully that sort of demystifies the whole concept just a little bit. Of course, if you have more questions about getting published, or you want some advice about your work, if you want me to just peek through your portfolio and say, hey, maybe you need to shoot more vertical. Maybe you need a little bit more headroom or a little bit more space to your decor photos. Any of that type of stuff, just hit me in the DM. I'm always happy to help. And yeah, let's all get back to work and do cool stuff just because it's worth doing.